Hello and welcome. It's like as I apparently die at the exact same moment. Oh, that was horrible. Chad is MIA, so ignore me. Uh, but this is Gaming with a Side of Salt, episode 12. GamerGate has gone nuclear. Kotaku and other things.
Oh yeah.
a lot of things. Anyway, with me as always is the lovely that guy there.
Yep.
As soon as I still can't point in the correct direction.
I do that all the time because the
Uh,
camera
I
flip.
do this. Boom. There we go. I've got it from now on. I can
Oh, so
point in the
now I
right
got to
direction.
point to my left. To point to
That's
my
right.
right.
Now you need to point in a way that doesn't make sense. Ah, but anyway, we have all sorts of things to talk about tonight.
Oh yeah, and it's funny because for a majority of the week, the news was kind of slow, and then it just all came out near the end of the week, like
Ed.
massive news diarrhea.
Yeah.
And I was
And if I
like,
can remember to, I'll bring up another thing from that isn't in there because that's what I was
oh, you DM'd
doing
me,
with.
or I DM'd you, one of the two.
No, did you DM me one? No, it was what I was doing like for 15 minutes before I
About Joel.
uh how
Man,
do
it was
I
hilarious, but if that's actually a thing, that would be awesome.
there we go. I'm trying to navigate Twitter real quick on my desktop, which I am not used to doing. So yeah, it was it took me a second to figure out.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, well, I'm not used to utilizing Twitter on my desktop. I use it on my phone all the time. It's easier.
I'll be yawning already. We just started. He's like,
I yawn 24/7, 7 days a week. I wake up and I yawn. I'm a
okay.
perpetually exhausted penguin.
I'm not gonna lie. Last week I woke up tired. Never in my life has that happened where I woke up after 8 hours sleeping and went, "Oh God, I'm tired." And then I realized I had slept for 8 hours and was still tired. I was like, "What?" I have become the old man.
I just like every day of my life.
Yeah.
Like, in order for me to not wake up tired, I have to sleep for like 12 hours.
I think it's a temperature thing too. I think the cold weather does it to me.
But yeah. And it never fails. I get on camera and then I'm suddenly like yawning 24/7 too. I was like, come on, really? Anytime I start talking to people, I gotta yawn. I was like, really?
For me, it's my nose itching. Every time I get on, the whole day, I'll be fine. Then I get on camera, I'll be like, and I'm like, yep, somebody thinks I'm doing some,
That's because of all that blow you did right before the stream.
yep,
I saw those hookers and blow you had shuffling them out back. That's why he was MIA, by the way. He was shuffling behind the green screen real quick.
yep, getting my fix. Ah.
But anyway, on to the news. So what do we got first? Oh geez, all of a sudden the ADL and other organizations that gamers had a huge mobilization in the elections. That's why you are seeing this now. So the ADL did a thing.
Yep.
I hate the ADL.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
The ADL hates the ADL, so you know.
I don't know about that, but what I really like is the fact that they're an organization, right? And then they limit who can actually reply to them and stuff.
Every time.
And it's like, why? Why do you do that?
Oh, because
To show
they
that you
know
have no stones.
nobody likes them. They know people can disprove every single claim they make every time.
Let's see. What do we got here? As digital social spaces, online games should be regulated to address hate and extremism. It's vital for Congress to examine extremist radicalization in these spaces, and we are grateful to oh, for fuck's sake, for leading this effort, an important piece to read. Old man, how many times do we have to tell you this? Yeah, so let's see. Who is this? Lori Trahan, Massachusetts.
Democrat.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but actually, you know what? It could have went any way, to be totally honest. Last
Yeah.
time I checked in the '90s, it was the Republicans who really, really hated gamers. So,
Yeah,
I-
but see, that's the thing is we kind of realized that it was the rhinos that didn't like the old school Republican
yeah,
assholes. Now that party is kind of shifting, and they're kind of like do what the Republican Party of new is really a libertarian conservative party.
ugh. Oh, they're definitely something, that's for sure. Oh, but after years of, I don't care what this
Like
video is called.
slowly shifting.
After years of paral- paralysis, anyway, paralysis. Can I read the word? The U.S. and European Union has been moving to regulate social platforms. I don't really care about that. Let's see. These efforts to rein in social media overlook the gargantuan online gaming industry. Video games consist or comprise the largest entertainment industry by far, grossing 200 million. Blah blah blah. Online games should be part of the regulatory discussion, of course.
Go fuck yourself.
Discussions of harms and getting in gaming hysterically have focused on fears about the content of the game themselves. Yeah, that's why we have the ESRB bullshit.
Which nobody
However,
pays attention to.
oh yeah, I mean it's great. The social environment of games is what actually poses significant threats to the player's safety and well-being. How so? Citation needed. Exposure to hate speech, no such thing,
No such
is
thing.
routine, while doxing, exposing someone's private identifying information and physical threats are also common. Okay, yes, that happens everywhere on the internet at this point.
Also,
That is not unique to gaming.
yeah, also doxing is not something that's legal to begin with. Like if you
Actually, I think it depends.
well,
Technically, doxing isn't illegal, but I think some states did take an approach to trying to make it illegal at one point.
well, so it's you can't
But yeah, anyway.
you can't through what was it? It was that the whole thing of doxing was, as far as in this context, is getting personal information through malicious means like
You know, like the media
spyware.
does all the time.
They dox, yeah, absolutely. Which is why when they cry about their information getting out, I'm kind of like,
I have no sympathy for them.
yeah, you did it first.
It's like when you write an article and purposely hunt down somebody to use their real name instead of the screen name you're reporting on,
Yep.
that nobody knew who they actually were until you published that article.
You could have said libs of
I have
TikTok,
no
but you didn't,
sympathy
did
for
you?
you when the autists of the internet decide to dump your shit onto the internet. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Like when they went after libs of TikTok, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, regulation of something like that, they better fucking regulate the media as well on it. Who then
yeah,
will use the argument? It's necessary because First Amendment, blah blah blah. You know what? Yeah, so was me putting your information out. So fuck off.
yeah. See, that's the thing is and this happens all the damn time. They don't realize that this will be used against them, and And I say
and I
that,
love it when it
and
does. So
well,
yeah,
here's the thing. I say this to a lot of people that rail against gamers. We're gamers. We know how to win, and we're good at it. So you come at us, you're gonna lose because we will find a way to win no matter what.
yeah. And on top of that, you're trying to regulate something that can't really be regulated, like this idea of hate speech. Instead of telling people to KYS, now they tell them to go Minecraft themselves. Are you going to now make Minecraft the word hateful speech or something?
They already did.
Because it's
ADL
also
did.
nobody cares about the ADL.
I know, but
I mean, the ADL says this is a white power symbol for fuck's sake. Okay,
they also
ADL.
said you can't. I think they said you can't be racist towards white people. So
Yeah, something like that. But anyway. Then you got the physical threats are also coming. Yes, when I sit there and I tell you I'm going to come fuck your mother, I absolutely mean I am going to come hunt you down 3 or 4 states away, find your physical address, and go fuck your mother. No, they're not actually fucking doing that, you piece of shits. That is not actually happening.
I mean, to be fair,
Oops, I hit a button. Yeah. Anyway, what were you saying?
I mean, most people's moms probably would welcome it. So
Probably. But anyway, it's like, yes, sitting there and saying, I'm going to kick your ass and all this other stuff, that is normal banter between people when they're playing a competitive game.
yeah,
They're not physically going to go find them because like, I have a better chance of finding Chad because I know him than I do Pussy Slayer 69,
oh, you found my
that
off.
I just oh, sorry, that was Chad's sock puppet. Anyway, that I just randomly joined in a Helldiver match. The chances of me actually finding them and then hunting them down, can it be done? Yes. The chances of it actually happening though? No.
No,
Like 99.9999999% of people playing these games aren't doing that.
yeah,
It's
they
that
don't.
one spurg on Reddit.
Yeah, and what's funny is I love how they'll point to the 1 or 2 incidents every 10 years
Yes,
that pops off, and then the like you said, 99.99% that don't do that. Well, they don't count.
exactly.
Just like,
And it's like even to this day, they still use like those 7 tweets from Anita to Anita and try
oh
and claim this
yeah,
is what gamers are doing. And they used to put it, like the screen cap, then they took it away, then they cropped it, and did all this stuff. Now they just quote it. At one point, a user on X said this to dear Anita Sarkeesian or whoever, right? And it's like, guys, I look, I don't think we ever knew 100% that it was just her tweeting at herself,
I
but there is a 99.999999% probability that it fucking was.
I think somebody did actually access the metadata, but I can't speak for
I
sure
don't
either.
quite remember, but it'd be really nice if it still existed on a server somewhere at Twitter HQ, and then like
Hey,
Elon,
Elon, yeah,
Elon could go look at it. Hey Zen, how's
uh,
you doing? I'd also point out that oftentimes when they claim threats or harassment, they failed to provide sufficient proof in most cases. Absolutely, and a lot of
oh
the
yeah,
times it's just criticism too. When you're doing that, when we're talking about it in that case as well, like you're telling somebody that they're fucking lying on the internet, like these Urinals, and then they're like, I'm being harassed. Oh God, why isn't my company saving me? Oh, guys, can I do somebody? And
we
it's
made a
like,
meme. I made a meme about that
and
actually.
and it's like, you're a fucking liar. What were you expecting? You didn't even give. But there's not even a sentiment of truth in here. People are going to criticize you. But anyway, back to the article here about hateful conduct and regulating shit. But yeah, like people aren't hunting somebody down because they sit there and they say they're going to kick their ass while playing Helldivers or Call of Duty or Halo or whatever it is. It's just standard banter. People do it, and the 12-year-old's really bad about it, who shouldn't be on that game to begin with, more than
Yes.
likely. I mean, I, I don't know what to tell you. I let my
Let's
kid play Fortnite, but he has no voice comms unless it's his uncle, aunt, or me, or two
yeah,
of his
let's be
friends, and
real.
that's about it.
Let's be real. If they want to get mad at the parents, but they ain't going to do that because the parents are also voters, and all these congressmen, women, all these politicians are a bunch of pussies.
Oh yeah.
But the funny
Keep
thing is,
this
if they
on.
had even an iota of backbone, the people that are actually good parents would be like, "Wow, I like what they're saying. I'll make sure to vote for them."
Oh shit.
Hmm?
Okay. Of acute concern is mounting evidence that extremists and other bad actors take advantage of the pre-existing toxic gaming culture to disseminate their hateful ideologies and unleash hate-based harassment, almost like Sweet Baby Inc. against a guy from wherever it is in South America.
Brazil.
Brazil. That's in South America?
I know. I'm just
Okay. Anyway, Brazil, thank you. Kind of like them. They did that. Oh, actually, I'm curious. I'm going to click this real quick. Mounting evidence. Let's see what we got. Ah, it's this fucking stupid thing again. Okay, never mind. That's bunk.
yeah. That got debunked. Like,
They're if they're constant. I think. Oh, the last time we talked about them, and I think it was the Hill or whoever linked to the exact same thing, and that was what, a month or so ago.
yeah.
Well, players, game makers, and members of civic society are familiar with these problems. Many companies and policymakers are only just beginning to address, or in some cases, even acknowledge these issues.
Because they're non-issues.
Yeah, they're issues of their own making. Gaming companies and policymakers seem to be operating under a misconception about how the right to privacy and freedom of speech should apply online. I'm going to click this, so help me if it brings me to that other thing again. The inhuman right to privacy and freedom of speech in games. The fuck is this shit? The abstract. Hateful and extremist communications are prevalent in gaming spaces. Industry actors, policymakers, blah, blah, blah. However, these entities reveal a flawed assumption about how the human right to privacy and freedom of. Okay, they. First off, the fact that they have put human rights to privacy and freedom of expression together in this whatever it is that they're doing right now bothers me. Because I can understand a human's right to privacy. I get that. I understand that. But it has nothing to do with freedom of expression or speech. Those should be separated as two separate things. Anyway, these rights are invoked
Hold
to
up.
shield. Yes.
Look at the top. What's it say under the author?
Let's see. Rachel quote. Oh, it's take this.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
why it's so fucking
No.
okay.
Even
Right,
better.
right, right,
So
right.
go two lines down below. Take this.
New York University Stern Center of Business and Human Rights.
And I just looked them up. You ready for this?
Hit
The
me with
New,
it.
the New York University Stern Center of Business and Human Rights is an academic research and advocacy organization,
Uh huh. Of
which
course they
means
are.
if you're an advocacy organization, usually you're not accredited. At the
Oh.
New York University Stern School of Business, founded in March, it is at the first center focus of human rights as an integral part of business education. The center is directed by Michael Poisner, blah, blah, blah. Goes into that. It just goes into people working there, former editor, order.
So I'm on the site, right?
Yeah.
And I scroll down. Is anything look familiar here?
Oh wow. Huh.
The same stupid thing that is listed
Hmm.
everywhere this year.
Wait.
Oh,
Top left. What's that in the dead center of that image?
let's see. You got making ESG real,
ESG.
safeguarding AI, cobalt mining, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo addressing root causes of human right abuse. Yeah, see that I can get. That
Yeah.
one I get.
You know that one?
Not much we
I
can
don't
do about it.
understand that one.
I can understand that one.
Because I've seen the videos. It's kind of fucked up.
Oh, let's see. Oh, this is a whole chapter. By the end of this chapter, students will. This is a class. Adopt a critical outlook towards digital platforms that purpose to prioritize user privacy and freedom of expression above other values. Understanding how toxic speech and conduct, when allowed to proliferate in digital spaces, can lead to the normalization and okay.
Wait, right there, you just contradicted your own syllabus. You can't have that first bullet point and the second bullet point. It directly contradicts.
Yeah, I totally get that, Zen. They do. Like every one of these journalists will definitely like cite each other. Kotaku cites one, and then The Verge will cite the same place and the same people, and back and forth.
Oh,
And
it's completely
MSNBC will
incestuous.
do it. Wiki will do it. All that stuff. Oh yeah, definitely. It's just funny that that one particular thing keeps popping up every time we start talking about this stuff. And now I know exactly where it comes from.
It comes from our government.
Uh,
Because Take This was financed by Homeland Security.
yeah, yeah, I'm
So,
pretty sure take this as a Homeland Security thing.
wait, this means that, holy shit. This is a
Understanding social harms in games within a human rights frame. What the fuck is this shit?
Zia, would this qualify as a violation of the Constitution then?
You know what? I
Because,
have no idea because I would have to do more thinking and research.
yeah,
Um,
because,
However, what the fuck does it matter at this point? Because that particular branch of the governments have been perfectly fine with violating somebody's constitutional right.
good point.
So, pointing it out at this point feels like it's one of those,
Redundant.
oh, they're violating constitutional rights again. Who fucking knew? Go fuck yourselves. Anyway.
Yeah.
Ah. All right, back to the thing. Well, players, game makers, members, blah blah blah. Where were we again? Oh, here we go. The misconception. I had to click on it to see where it went. About how the rights, privacy, freedom should apply. This misconception stems from inadequate attention to human rights on the other side of the equation. That that of victims of extremist harassment and violence. Guess what? You're playing a game. There are no real human rights being violated there. I'm sorry. Except for maybe spilling gold. But anyway,
Only bug rights.
bug
And
rights.
bugs have no rights. So
That's
says
right.
Super Earth.
For democracy. Hate and harassment. And the let's see. One would think it should. However, if you've looked into organizations such as the ATF, you find they can do so freely through third parties. Exactly. Exactly.
What now?
Zen over here. One would think it should. However, if you've looked into organizations such as the ATF, you'll find they can do so freely through third parties, which is you know how DHS can have a third party thing that
Like
goes
take
back
this.
to them, like take this, but then they still legally can because it's not the Homeland Security or anything like that. It's take this, which is an organization, and that's how you skirt those laws. Ugh. Let's see. Hate harassment, blah, blah, blah. Through gaming inspires actions that violate individuals' rights. Okay. What? Exposure to extremist rhetoric and behavior in games have tangibly and sometimes devastatingly affected victims of harassment, intimidation, and occasional violence. In the most severe cases, extremist radicalization through gaming inspires actions that violate individuals' rights to life. I'm sorry, what?
Stop. I already know what it is.
The
Yep.
buff.
Except this was proven a
What?
lie.
Is this one of those
He had GTA in his room.
GTA?
No,
One of
literally.
those I own
Literally,
GTA?
they found a copy of Grand Theft Auto 5 in his room.
Oh, this is what we said last week.
Yeah.
This is what we said last week. It's like when something bad happens, they go and find the guy's PlayStation and he's got GTA 5, and it's like, it was gaming. It was the games.
Okay, so I legit was ready for them to go all the way back to the Columbine shooting where
That's
it was
actually where I thought it was gonna go.
instead they went to even something more retarded. Wow. Wow.
Yes, I am totally in favor for dismantling several three-letter organizations.
Oh no, all. Not
So-
several. For here,
Well, I would have
me-
to really pay attention, or I would have to look into some of them, but there are several that definitely need to go.
I can't think of a single one. I've looked through every single one of them. Not a single one needs to be there.
No, because we do need something like the FBI. The problem is the FBI is bloated and corrupt to the core.
Then get
That's
rid of
the
it.
problem. It needs to be gutted, but it doesn't need to be dismantled. Meanwhile, something like the Department of Education doesn't need to exist. There's no real benefit of having it.
The Department of Education, FBI could be completely dismantled, and that can go to the states take care of their own crap. If we want to deal with stuff abroad, that's the military. We want stuff locally, that's the states. FBI is useless. It is there to harass people and nothing more.
I don't think they're completely useless. I just think they're bloated and corrupt to the core. But anyway, saw the body cam footage of the shooting the killer streamed. I did not see it. I meant to actually go look for it, never did.
I didn't either.
But anyway, so that's where it is. Yeah, it's you know what, ADL, go fuck yourself. There we go.
Yep.
That's it. The Hill, you can also go fuck yourself. For all I fucking care, I'm so done with this one. This is stupid. This is stupid.
Next one.
I mean, you go to a thing, and then you cite the thing because they had GTA or something installed on their PC, and it's like, yep, that's the reason they went and did this. No, that's not the reason they did that. I'm sorry. Oh, let's see. I gotta go through here to get to the next thing. Here we go. The IGN Creators Guild. The union needs a union, guys.
Yeah.
The union is so useless. It needs a fucking union.
I think that's actually what when I saw this, I think that's what I said. I was like, "Oh, does the union need to unionize?"
Yeah, that's how I titled it and Gilded too. I was like, the union needs a union. Oh.
So let's get in this.
All right. So recently, IGN management shocked us by laying off 3 of our union members. Oh, my shock stars and garters! And yet another company reorg. We are currently in emergency negotiations attempting to protect their livelihoods. God, I hope IGN just said fuck off. It was probably cheaper to pay whatever guild fined or union fine that they would have gotten than to keep them online. Did you send me something? Yeah, shock. The IGN union workers right now shocked Pikachu face. Anyway, Here's where we sit and how you can help. All right. On March 7th, 2024, IGN management blindsided the IGN Creators Guild with 3 layoffs. This decision was made despite the fact that the company is in no economic distress. Nobody cares. And without consulting the union can go get fucked. Like, look, I say this over and over and over again. Fuck unions.
Yep.
There's really no place for unions. They have you thinking that you need them. They have you, they lie to you to make you think you need to have the union. But in reality, you really don't need the union. There's very rare circumstances where something similar to a union would be nice and probably should happen, but it's rare. They don't need those. The union isn't there for you. The union is there to suck money from you to keep those at the top wealthy, and that's it. A union, like I tried to explain to some idiot on TikTok once, is like any other company you're currently working for. It is a company within the company. You have the guys at the top of the union, or girls, who are taking all that money from you, the pleb, at the bottom. And then occasionally they throw you a fucking bone and say, hey, look, guys, we've got you a 50% raise over 10 years. It's going to be fucking awesome. How awesome is that? You couldn't have had that without us, the union.
Could have had that.
But then when you sit
year.
there and think about it, you're getting a 50% raise over the next 10 years, providing you're still there in 10 years. And you could have probably achieved that metric without the help of the union by walking in and saying, look, I do X, Y, Z. You can't do B without me. I'm overworked and underpaid. I need a raise.
Oh, and also,
But
usually those things have the and you lose that little pittance of a perk if you don't continue to make the quota for those 10 years or some BS like that.
Yeah, there's always a stipulation in there too.
And Zen's completely right. Fuck unions, fuck HR.
Yeah, Zen is right. I agree with him. Fuck HR, fuck unions. But yeah, and then you're the pleb who's paying them their dues, your union dues, and they've got laws built around them so they can exist, which there should not be any kind of union laws. I'm sorry.
No.
If a company wants to bust your little union because you're more trouble than you're worth, I think they have every right to fucking do it, because last time I checked, they have a right to not hire you or to keep you on. And the fact that we have laws specifically for unions saying, oh, well, if they're a union, you can't bust them or fire them, or you have to suffer this, that, and why. It's ridiculous.
That's why I like the way Ohio does unions. They don't. They're like,
yeah, it also leads to stagnation. Unions artificially hold you back.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people can't figure that out. It's like you go in, oh, it's a union job. Sweet. Okay, you go in, you're working, you've been there for 5 years. Your boss is retiring or leaving or going somewhere else. There's an opening, you want to go for it. Guess fucking what? You're union, you can't go for it. You've hit the top of your pole 2 runs in. The ladder was pulled up, 5 years ago when you joined.
Yep.
There is nothing else. That's why when people get upset, I can't believe they're hiring from out of the company and stuff. And I've been here for 10 years and I've done this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, are you union? Well, that's your problem. You were union.
Oh, don't
you
get me
have
wrong.
to go to another company and get out of the union
Oh,
if you want to go up.
Don't get me wrong. I've worked in a warehouse where I showed them I could do IT work, and they had an opening in IT. I applied for it, and they hired outside the company. You know what I did? Now keep in mind, I wasn't just a employee there. I was a trainer. I knew every single department in there, so I could work any machine that was in that warehouse.
Yep.
And I told them that, and they denied me the IT position. So I said, okay, I quit. I was like, I quit. No, 2 week notice. No, I'm out.
Yeah, which is great when they're like, but then we won't hire you back. It's like, I don't fucking care.
Like, oh, you think I'm
If I'm
coming
leaving
back?
here for a reason, guys, I don't plan to come back. I'm sorry.
And that's
But
exactly what
yeah,
I
Sid
did.
is absolutely right. You can't, arrange an agreement directly with the person paying my check, then there is no agreement to begin with.
That's a really good way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I mean, heck, I even have at least one personal story when it comes to unions from with my own father because he had gotten into a position that was open at one point, and at one point in my life, I wound up having the exact same thing happen. Didn't even realize I was in a fucking union because they didn't tell you up front that it was a union thing. And what happened is, this
Ooh,
is the other thing I hate
that
about unions.
actually could be considered illegal if they don't.
Well, see, they probably did. That's the thing. I think it because I got pissed off about it. One, and in the contract somewhere, it actually did state that you are now part of a union. Blah blah blah. But because me, like 98% of the rest of people in the world, we don't actually read those shit like EULAs. Um, that's how they get you, right? So there was an opening, applied for it, got it. Sweet promotion, doing great. 2 weeks later, hey, yeah, I know we hired you for this, but we have to bump you back down. Why? Did I do something wrong? No, we didn't know you were a union member. I'm not a union member. Yeah, you are. I'm sorry, what? Then you go looking through your contract and find out you're a union member. And what it is when you would get your bonuses at the end of the year, the union dues came out of it, then you were given your bonus. So you
Which is
didn't even see
nothing.
them take it out in a check stub. You just saw safety bonus or whatever at the bottom. It was like, oh, sweet, I made an extra 500. Not realizing they took 500 out of that because you originally had made 1,000 for union dues.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad. And they try to spin it here in Ohio. A lot of the places that do have unions here are like, we'll give you better insurance, and then they get the insurance that's total dog shit.
Anyway, back to this because we went on a union tangent again.
Yes, we did.
And that is my fault. Certain things get me really heated really quickly. Apparently, unions is one of those. Anyway, let's see, what was it? This decision shocked us, given the fact that the company's vulnerability recognition that voluntarily recognized our guild. Okay, cool. Nobody cares. Anyway, the company is claiming that these decisions were made prior to our recognizing. Oh, yeah, weren't they recently?
Yeah, they
This is a
recent.
recent thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Failing to approach us prior to the layoffs and instead of choosing to bargain over the effect of said layoffs is a massive breach of trust between union employees and management. And what the fuck are you going to do about it?
well,
Anyway,
here's the funny thing: if they're in an at-will state, they don't have to fucking bargain.
well, there's union laws, so they kind of do.
Well, that's the thing is, it depends on what laws supersede what. Because
That is true. It
if it's
depends. Where is IGN actually located? IGN location.
like
San
Cali,
Francisco, they're going to have strict union, or they're going to have good union laws.
yeah,
They're all the way over there.
yeah.
Ah, but anyway, that erosion of trust is only furthered by the fact that we are currently 7 open positions at the company, and our 3 colleagues could be slotted into many of them. Wait, is this a union of 7 people?
Um,
I'm sorry, what?
so IGN, from my understanding, is only about, if I remember right, I'm going off the top of my head, like 25 employees total. And like 7 of them are
Let's see. IGN workers unionized. IGN Creators Guild announces 85% eligibility. Editorial and creative employees at Games Media Outlet have already signed union cards. What is 85%? How many did you say again?
I think it's like 25 employees at IGN.
According to this article, it's a group of more than 80 IGN employees.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that.
And if that's 87%, they have like what, roughly 100? A little under 100?
Because I think IGN had like 300 at some point. Then they cut their
Yeah, they did do layoffs, didn't they?
they cut their international, like their office in the UK or something. I think that was IGN. It all blurs together sometimes.
Let's see. Anyway, so apparently the 3 they let go were capable of doing multiple things in these 7 positions that are apparently currently available. But anyway,
Were they more trouble than they're worth? That's the question.
yeah, no, that was that's the real question: is were they more trouble than they were worth? This layoff was a choice, not a need. I don't know.
Depends.
Rather
Were they threatening to sue the company? It's pretty damn. I would say it's a need if they're threatening to sue the company.
Rather than working with us to transfer our colleagues into these open slots, the company is performing legal acrobatics to get around us and is risking the livelihood of. Okay, so they didn't do anything illegal to the union because the union is openly admitting right here that, look, what they did was legal and there's
But we
not a
don't like
damn
it.
thing we can do about it. So we're just now going to be pissy about it.
Yep. But they're
Nobody
just
cares.
mad that they got outmaneuvered legally.
Yeah. The livelihood of 3 people with 23 plus years of experience with the company between them.
Then find a new job.
You know what? I really hate it when people do this. It's like, but they had 23 years of experience. And then nobody, and that's going to be like what things are titled, of course. It's like, 3 employees with 23 years of experience with the company, and then leave off the between them. So
Yeah.
for all we know, one of them had 10, another one had 10, and one had 3.
Yeah.
Or 4, because it's 23 plus. And when they're saying 23 plus, that plus is only 1 year. Otherwise, there'd be no reason for them to put that there.
Yep.
And it's like, so were they actually valuable? Or was one valuable and the other 2 were not? Because maybe he has 20 years of experience, the other one has 2. Hey, good shoes. Welcome to the live stream. Anyway. Yeah, I really hate it when they do that shit because it blurs what exactly happened, right? Anyway,
But
this
here's
do
my
what?
here's my prediction. It was one really old dude that was on the verge of retirement anyway,
Yeah, probably.
and then 2 Karens that they just want to fuck off.
Those 2 that were HR nightmares.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has had terminal impact on staff and will continue to do so as we move into IGN's busy event schedule. Well, you better get to cracking then. Including the newly minted IGN Live.
What?
Okay. So let me get this straight. You've got 7 open positions
And
beforehand. You're explaining that you could have, if told ahead of time, slotted them in those open positions. But you weren't really working on the assumption that they were going to be in those positions to begin with.
Moreover, the way I'm reading this, they're expanding their business when they don't have the manpower. Are they complete idiots?
IGN Live, somehow I doubt it takes much to make that even happen.
I'm just saying the way it reads.
Yeah. The experience of our Impact members is expertise that we cannot afford to lose, and a huge blow to the teams who relied on them across departments.
Well, apparently
Well,
your
apparently
bosses
not.
disagree.
We formed this union to make it clear that the callous treatment of our livelihoods will not be tolerated. Well, go get fucked. IGN relies on us to be created, to be creative, to pivot, and otherwise make do. Well, make do with what you got.
Well, apparently
We're
they're pivoting to unemployment.
yeah, those three are pivoting to unemployment. Countless curveballs, both external and internal, but they were unwilling to do the same when it came to taking care of their staff. We're turning to our community now. Join us in insisting IGN management sit down with us at the bargaining table.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so they voluntarily recognize the Creator Guild, right? This
Yeah.
IGN Creators Guild, but they're also not bargaining with them. Yeah, your union has no power here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's see. And who exactly is at the top of your union anyway? Um, Instead of communicating us through outside counsel, at there's your top of the union right there. These three people, I guess. At least that's the IGN management that they're adding right here.
So I actually wait, Zio. You're not
Yeah.
gonna believe this. I actually got a video of IGN executives talking to the union.
No. All
DMing
right.
it to you.
All right. All right. All right. Let's bring this up. Oh, all right. All right. I'm gonna pop this over here real quick.
Union heads there.
No power here, Gandalf the Grey.
You have no power, Union. Oh.
Like, what
But
do you
yeah,
want
so
me?
the union needs a union. They need your help right now. They need it stat. Uh, let's see who is this? Publisher, IGN, president. Oh, are these the guys, the people who are at the top of the union? So these are the ones who are going to make bank? Is that what this is?
Pretty much.
Yeah, just so you know, union guys, when you're paying your dues,
That's who's getting the money.
just remember, there's
Yeah,
only a few
no,
of you getting the paycheck.
her right there, I think, was the face of it.
Oh,
I remember right.
Let's see.
Like Ultra Mega Karen, if I remember right. This was during the strike and all that.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. IGN Live. IGN to host IGN Live, an in-person fan event. It's even worse. They're not actually expanding their business. They're running their own BlizzCon. Who the fuck is going to an IGN con? Who wants to go to an IGN con? Oh, God. Oh, yeah. There's so much manpower going to be needed for that. Oh, that's great. That's fucking great.
Dude, Rumble would draw bigger numbers than
It's for the
IGN.
devs. It's for the devs. Featuring world-class talent, parties, networking opportunities, and unique attractions. It's being advertised as an in-person fan event. It's purely for other journos.
So it's
That's what it is.
basically a circle jerk.
Yes. It's their go to IGN Live for your urinalist circle jerk. Get to it, guys. Oh, did I do this twice? I must have did that twice. Let's see. What's the next one? Let's move on. The anti-cheat police. PSA, there's currently an RCE exploit being abused that play Apex. It is sorry. It is unsure whether it comes from the game or an actual anti-cheat. I would advise against playing any games protected by EAC or any EA titles. Yeah, just screw EA titles, guys.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I usually advise against EA titles in general.
Yeah, me
without
too.
the hacking, but
I mean, there are some things that I absolutely love, though, that EA does because they're the only ones who own it.
look, they killed The Sims. I'm sorry, they fucked up.
But I
The
still
Sims.
love playing The Sims. Granted, I think I play like The Sims 3.
Like The Sims 2 was the best,
Right.
hands down. But
Yeah, I think I prefer The Sims 3 because the other Sims is just bad. I mean, The Sims 3 isn't that great either compared to Sims 2, but I like it. Also added some things the
like
Sims
the
2 didn't have.
3 was a little shaky, but it was like okay. And then 4, I was like, what the fuck?
4 got the Sim City 5 treatment. Bare bones compared to what they are used to have. And it's like, really, guys? Really?
I got it for free, and I felt like I got ripped off.
Here, have this for free. Can I get a refund? Currently, the RCE is being abused to inject cheats into streamers' machines, which means they have the capabilities to do whatever, like installing ransomware software, yada yada yada. Anyway, so apparently, anti-cheat had an exploit going on,
Yeah.
which is
So
never a good sign.
I dug into that a little bit, and apparently somebody who was part of the group, they didn't claim to be part of the group, but it kind of seemed like they might have been part of the group that was hacking them, had said that they weren't adding cheats to anybody's box. It's just that this was a vulnerability they wanted to expose. Basically, kind of a white hat operation, but they also had said that I had talked to Ben, and he said it's more of a brown hat thing.
Where?
Black bullet here on my ping. I knocked him there. Wait. Wait, what the fuck? I'm getting hacked. I'm getting hacked. But
I know. Sure. Can you play the game?
bro, I'm getting hacked.
Can you play the game though?
Yeah, but it's cheating. The fuck?
I know. Sure. I know. And what?
Like what?
No, but is it fucking up your game?
Yes, I can see everyone. Like
You need to leave.
I didn't leave the game, right?
You need to leave.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Get out.
Like, what the?
Admin's down. Nick, admin's down.
But,
Admin's
I left. Like
Admin's down. One flash. Where?
Black bullet here.
This is
on
a
my ping.
tournament too, wasn't it?
Okay, yeah, this is definitely not what that guy said.
Look, I even if it is a brown white hat situation, they want to expose it. Doing
That's
it in
not
the
the way
middle
to
of
go
a
about
tournament. Well, doing it in the middle of a tournament is probably the best way to go about it to get maximum exposure and say, "Hey, you have an issue. You haven't listened. Here, see it now." That poor guy, though, I feel so bad for him because here he is trying his best. And then suddenly he's getting wall hacks and shit going on. And he's like, the fuck is going on? It doesn't know what to do. I mean, it ruins the tournament right there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I get it why somebody would do that.
But if you wanted to
because
get
when
the
you start-
message,
When you
Oh, sorry.
start resulting, or when it starts, when you're trying to do a thing and it's not getting the desired response it should, sometimes drastic measures are needed.
but you know what they could have done, which wouldn't result in this poor guy getting fucked over? Reach out to Zeo Gaming. Reach out.
It still wouldn't have gotten much reach.
Well, hang on. I'm not done. Reach out to Flashcast. Reach out to that umbrella guy. Reach out to I don't know, another fucking douchebag that covers gaming like we do. Just get the word out. This is not cool. Reach out to Grums here.
Yeah.
Be like,
See.
hey, I found a this isn't cool to ruin somebody's what they worked so damn hard to get to.
Yeah. I mean, I have mixed feelings about it.
Like, if it was just a random match,
Look,
or like
I
maybe
don't
a
know
random
how
live
hard
stream,
they were trying to, let people know. So I have mixed feelings because on one hand, if they legitimately went through all the channels that they could about this that they could think of, and it was still getting stonewalled, and they were just like, brushing it under the rug and going, we'll think about it later. I can understand, but I feel bad for the guys, the guys and girls, or whoever were in the tournament, and then that kind of thing happened, right?
oh, absolutely. And I get that this gives you max exposure to this going on, but I'm also kind of like,
Although I think I would have probably done it to everybody if I could, or at least as many players as possible in the tournament.
yeah,
Because
just
then that would because
that
I
would
don't know what the
that would hold the
outcome
tournament.
was.
They could redo that match.
Yeah,
I could see that.
yeah, like because I don't know what the outcome is, but just because I'm pessimistic the way I am when it comes to companies like this, he might have got himself disqualified, even though he has no idea what was going on. They could have probably disqualified him and his team.
Well, you remember how they did the one guy that was about
Yeah,
the China bet thing on the tournament.
Blitzchung.
Blitzchung, yeah.
Yeah, and that was after he won. They just strip him of everything because pro Hong Kong and stuff. But I don't know how the aftermath went with that, but to make the minimal damage per team because they could, have gone like, look, sorry, you guys are out now as a result. And then we'll look into this. And then it was streamed to everybody. So everybody knows what's going on, but they're out.
Yeah.
To minimize the damage, put it on as many teams as possible in the current match at the same time.
Yep.
For maximum effect, and then they would have to be forced to shut that entire match down and just redo it.
Yep. And would have to address the vulnerability because they couldn't run that match. That vulnerability. I did hear that it might only be because of the way Apex interacts with the anti-cheat, and it might not be any other game affected. I don't know though.
Let's see. There's no confirmed news. The potential RCE is due to vulnerabilities from the game source or EAC. Even though there is a response from EAC, we would recommend that we wait for a response from Respawn EA confirming the source of the incident. Respawn deployed a security update but has not yet released any info. Okay.
Oh, wait. No, that actually might be the info you need right there.
Maybe.
If Respawn deployed a security update, you don't
We've also confirmed the same hackers involved who spawned bots in streamers' games last month. Oh. Okay. So the plot thickens. Remember how it was like maybe he's tried reaching out or trying to expose it already and it just hasn't gone the way it should have? I mean, if last month he was doing the exact same thing, because I think I remember seeing those videos, some of those clips where dude is trying to get a kill on somebody and suddenly all these bots start spawning and chasing them down.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think it was like Call of Duty or something like that.
You came to the wrong lobby, partner.
Yeah, it's just like you came to the wrong lobby. It's full of zombies.
You came to the wrong lobby, bro.
But Yeah, which means if this is the same thing and they're related, then more drastic measures were taken. Let's see.
This might be where I got my information.
Bot streamers. I want to ask a couple of questions regarding. Hi, I will not give an answer. It's not English. I guess this is it. Tonight we made quite Apex. Hope you all managed to check it out if anyone's interested. No viruses were uploaded for usual. Weird jokes, not clowns. Viruses are bad, harmful, or maybe they're just trolls.
Yeah, that's what I saw, and that's what I would. Yep, there's my
Oh,
post actually.
yeah. For those wondering, it sounds like doing white hot ops. Not saying it directly isn't so much damage for to inform, but who knows? Yeah, I think they're more trolls, if anything, just due to this right here. If this is real,
But
they found a vulnerability. They decided to exploit it. They weren't really concerned on telling anybody anything. They were
yeah,
just going to fuck around with people with it. And then when they finally catch on, they'll fix it.
yep. But
Uh,
see here's the thing: are they going to fix it? Who needs to fix it? Is it EA or is it?
Well, it looks like they're both working on it. So they threw out a security patch.
Who's
That means they're
Respawn?
attempting. Respawn is a company. Respawn Entertainment.
Well, thank you, Mr. Info.
That's what you asked.
I mean, are they with EA or are they with the anti-cheat? Like,
No, they're owned by EA, I think.
so that makes me lean more towards the fact that they were the first ones to release a security thing. That it's probably
their parent-
Apex side
Yeah.
and not the anti-cheat side. If you get what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, they maybe. Yeah, I get what you're saying. They released a thing, and EAC is just like,
Well, EAC might not have the problem. It might be because somebody had said that to me. I think even further down in the comments, but basically what somebody had mentioned was that it could be that the way Apex plays with EAC that caused the vulnerability, because it doesn't seem that any other game has been affected by this vulnerability. Nobody.
Well, no, because the game I saw clips of, I don't think that was. Maybe it was Apex. I'm just not as versed in Apex, so I didn't recognize it as Apex.
I don't know.
Maybe it was then. Okay, yeah. If it's just affecting Apex, then it might be something to deal with Apex itself.
Yeah, again, I'm just throwing out possibilities. I got nothing. This is something we'll probably have to monitor going forward to see if anything comes of it.
Deployed a security update, but that's about it.
That might be a profile we're following.
Yeah, it is. We'll follow that. Anyways, let's move on. Oh, this is it. This is it, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So, fellow viewers, GDC, the Game Development Conference, happened. Thousands of
GDC.
people went. They had various panels from people doing those panels with the normal ESG stuff too. But we must take a moment for our fallen developers as they scream into the void. Okay. So what happened here? Apparently, they decided that they were going to do this thing where everybody could go out and scream out their frustration because of all the toxic gamers lately and GG and stuff like that. 50 of them went and did it, and you can now see the most pathetic developers in the industry on camera screaming at the top of their lungs because criticism hurts them too much.
Okay, so I'm gonna point some things out that I noticed. First off, GDC. What does that stand for?
Game Development Conference.
Oh, I thought it stand for goddamn commies. My mistake.
Well, no, because it's not all developers.
Anyway, sorry, I had to make that joke. I know it's not
That's a
all.
good
I
one.
know it's not all developers. There's some really good ones out there.
That was a good one, though.
I
mean,
enlarge the image. I want to point this out.
I mean, that's what you're seeing right here are the goddamn commies.
So, first and foremost, girl to the left of the center.
Rainbow hair.
Where are you pointing?
Right here.
Right there.
Center.
You see that hair?
Uh-huh.
We know what her ideology is right there.
We do. And every one of these fuckers.
Now, you notice that a majority of the people here are women.
Oh, yeah. They seem to be the weaker ones, apparently.
And I'm not saying all women, by no means, but it does, and this goes along with a lot of news articles that have come out recently saying that a lot of companies are avoiding hiring women now because they are a HR risk. Do you think this kind of attributes to that being like, if I was a woman, I'd be pissed at every woman there because I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Now, I wonder which ones are actually there, which ones are actually just videotaping for the levels at this point.
Yeah. But like this whole like mind virus of like hating your customers, I've only seen it in entertainment.
They are masked. I thought that was weird. Some of these people have masks on.
It's
Sure, that's a mask.
yeah, that's a mask.
It's like, why are you people still wearing masks?
Out in the open air. But no, like they've lost the plot so hard.
They have.
Oh, by the way, fun fact: the girl in that that meme that everybody is yelling no.
Yeah.
She became a Trump supporter.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to dive down that rabbit hole and check that out.
Apparently, like she saw how good things got after him, and how bad things got after he left. We're like, oh fuck this.
Well, I know that gaming companies have at least a few more rounds of layoffs. There's 50 they need to get still.
Well, they got at least they got a good idea of who to.
They can go back here and see if they can recognize the back of somebody's head.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is, I'm like, y'all do realize you got a job to do. All you got to do is do your job. Get rid of these freaking HR disasters and just get to work on making good games again. And you would be the next Helldivers. You would be the next Power World. You would be. No, you have the money even to do it. That's the worst part. They could easily bounce back, and they don't. We'll be fine. Yeah, right here, that guy just below that. No wonder they're all finally getting fired.
We'll be fine. Yeah, seriously.
It's like it's really kind of depressing to look at these people because, like, they're so fucked in the head.
I am not going to ask why Lolly and Bimboy are both trending. Yeah, I'm not even going to look at it. I don't
No.
want to know.
No, we're on stream.
We're on stream. We
No.
can't look at that on stream.
I mean, I wouldn't look at it off stream because
yeah, neither would
neither
I.
of those. No.
I just happened to glance over and it's like Russia, Lolly, Bimboys, Russia, Lolly, Bimboys, what? And then we the people. And I'm like, okay.
This is a very eclectic trending today.
Nothing
But
like
yeah,
the
no,
lolly Russian femboys out there to start.
I do gotta say,
trending.
it is, the reaction has been hilarious. Just the way these people are just, and somebody pointed this out. They're screaming because they got nothing left.
Well, they're being criticized. They're being made fun of. They're being
All their
called
lives
liars.
fell apart.
Their shit isn't selling. I mean,
They're being outdone by they're being outdone by a small group and a gun nut that used to be a gas station attendant.
yeah.
Like,
You can finish that thought.
no, there's nothing really to finish. No, I'll just let the game industry finish that thought because they're done. Like the AAA studios are fucking done.
Yeah, they better right course real quick. But
well, according to Grums, it's too late.
Yeah.
They panned themselves, and I agree. He said in a post, I don't think we got it, and I didn't really think it was anything we haven't already said, beat this horse to death, but I'll say it real quick. They painted themselves into a corner. They made the cost so damn high that people are now expecting that quality. The few people that do buy, but they can't cover the cost. But now they can't go back because then they're going to lose people. But my thought is, if they went so far back that they wouldn't lose anybody, but they could still make quality games with the gameplay, the story, but they don't even know how to write a good story. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, I thought this was the case at one point in time. So back February of 2021, there was a changing tide at Kotaku. Why do I know this? Because I fucking reported on it.
Yeah.
Over on the YouTube side of things. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
During that, Kotaku, the editors and stuff like that, the writers were told to ditch the politics.
Yeah.
It is now 2024. They're having that same conversation again. So that changing tide didn't last.
Well, the problem is they didn't ditch the politics. They just kind of
they ditched it for a second.
Then they brought it right back.
The people, they hired more people of the same ilk, and yeah, they didn't make a lasting change. But anyway, you got Grums here. What did Geo Media ask Kotaku to report? Only facts from now on, or what? So, LOL, a Kotaku writer just quit her job in protest, and another writer still employed is now applauded for her being stunning and brave. Everything is fine. Extremely proud of Jen for taking this ethical stance in response to profoundly misguided anti-journalist etiquette from Geo Media Management. Some personal news: I resigned from Kotaku, and Jim Spanfield is a herb.
Is that
really? Yes, that's an insult. And it is so fucking dumb. Like, I understand I'm a millennial, and I'm an older millennial, and what we would call people are out of date or whatever, I guess, but herb is what you guys came up with. Herb?
See,
That is an ingredient for food.
uh, I'm so
Anyway,
confused.
yeah.
Anyway, so this Caroline Petit, does she work at Kotaku?
Yeah, she's clapping for the one who quit and making an ethical stance, but apparently Caroline
So
here,
then she's unethical for staying.
it's unethical for staying.
So she's outing herself as being an unethical
Yeah,
journalist.
actually, I'm going to do a thing.
You're going to look that up, aren't you?
Because I have to applaud her for her unethical
You know she's going to be
behavior of
protected.
staying.
You know it's going to be only
know.
people that follow
Let's
her. Is
see.
going. I'm calling it now.
No,
I'm going to bring it up,
we're
and
not.
only people that follow her is going to be able to reply.
Oh, maybe.
Oh,
Actually, let's see. How long is that?
March 21st.
March 21st.
Oh,
What
no,
day is it?
that's Lofi. So
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, but okay. I'm going to assume it had to have been not that long ago.
it wasn't a reply, was it? It was a post.
I don't know.
It was a quote tweet.
It was a quote
post.
tweet of this, so it
was a
should
post.
be in here somewhere. Let's see. Card I've gotten from my local weed shop ranked. I have nothing wrong with this. With such hard-hitting journalists as this, I don't know anyone. Look, Don, I kind of have to agree with Caroline on this one.
Yeah.
God forbid they have a little fun once in a while.
Sometimes I'm like, guys, you're overreaching. You're overextending.
Yeah, that one's a bit overextending. I mean, I get the sentiment. It's not exactly hard-hitting journalism or anything, but we're talking about Kotaku.
And we're talking about video games. It doesn't have to
video
be
games articles. They have to have fillers somewhere. Let's see.
By the way, Beetlejuice trailer dropped.
I'll have to check it out at some point.
I'm cautiously optimistic. So far, good casting. I'm shocked at Beetlejuice. Like, I don't know what they did, but like, I don't know. Michael Keaton's still alive, right?
I have no idea, but I can't find this post anywhere. Oh, there it is. I don't see why anti-journal ethics would affect Kotaku.
TikTok.
Anyway, let's see. Extremely proud of Jen for taking the ethical stance in response to misguided anti-journalists. Okay. Let's look at her real quick. She's not protected either.
Huh. Good on them.
All right. Does she actually work for Kotaku?
She's followed by Kotaku.
That has got to be a dude. I'm sorry.
Damn.
I can't tell because that picture is small, so I'm not really looking at it, but I just immediately looked up and was like, that is so a dude. Oh. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely a writer at Kotaku.
Yep.
All right, let's do my thing. Oh, gosh. I have to fix their spelling errors. There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're, I don't understand this tweet at all.
Yeah.
Extremely proud of Jen for taking an ethical stance while also simultaneously staying with the company. So that makes you extremely unethical, right?
I'll let her rip.
At least that's what I feel anyway. All right, I'm done.
Okay.
That's all I had to do. I've sat here and searched for this just so I can call her unethical. Him or I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, it looks like a man. She looking like a man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
She's
let's
looking like a single cat lady.
see. I mean, I just thought she was old. Looking at that picture,
Yeah.
she's just a man. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I can't help
they,
it.
they did not take
That
flattering
looks-
pictures of her at all, or him,
No, they
or
did not.
whatever.
Whatever. The cat. person.
Anyway,
Oh, onward and upward, right? Was there anything else about Kotaku?
I don't think so.
Did we cover everything, or did we get sidetracked and completely miss the plot?
We usually.
Probably. Anyway, ops manager for Kepler Interact, the studio that purchased.
Oh wait, didn't you want to talk about Kotaku's like parent company or something? And
Oh,
Gawker?
Geo Media.
Yeah.
Well, Grun's actually mentioned it, and that was the first time I've heard anybody mention Geo.
Do you want to hit that real quick before we move on?
But oh, I was trying to search this too because it's a CEO at Kotaku is Bobby Kotick.
Why does that sound familiar?
Bobby Kotick is the CEO over at Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, but I think he was recently replaced with Microsoft's insert. Some chick.
Oh, that's right.
But I was looking at that and I was like, is he? And I wanted to search that up to get a confirmation, but couldn't. Yeah, I was trying to check. I was looking for their earnings stuff and couldn't find it for whatever reason. I know it's out there because I was curious to know what their earnings were the past few years so I could talk about that, but because I can't find it, I can't talk about it. But yeah, apparently Kotaku, of course, is owned by Geo Media. Geo Media owns Gizmodo. Gizmodo doesn't exist anymore, right?
Not that I know. I think they got sold. I think.
Let's see. They own The Root, which is apparently an African American online magazine. The AV Club, which is an online newspaper. The Takeout. Some of these don't even have links to them anymore, so I'm assuming they no longer exist. The Onion.
Yeah.
which is interesting because they have a satirical base thing under
Mhm.
their thing. The Inventor and Corpse is an American English language news website owned by Geo Media, focused on international business news. But no, there wasn't really much more to say to this because I couldn't find what I was looking for to
Oh,
even
okay.
get into it before
Okay.
we started. So it's going to have to be something I'll have to look up later and come back to, swing back around.
All right. Moving on then.
Yeah, unfortunately. But anyway, what is this here? I think you shared this one.
I don't remember it.
It's not happy with me breaking the story on Flintlock. Oh yeah, Flintlock.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I have stuff on Flintlock. Oh, okay. Is this where Grums was talking his? Because I don't have the other thing pulled up. Um, there it is. Yeah, right here. This is what I want. Okay, so Flintlock. Flintlock's apparently a new game that's heading out, right? Like it's not out yet, but it's about to be out.
Yep.
By A44 Games. All right. Now, there are two sources that are apparently anonymous from working inside the company when it comes to Flintlock. One source told one person that Sweet Baby was involved with Flintlock. However, they kicked Sweet Baby out. And now, and I'm paraphrasing because I forgot to save it. So I can't
Yeah.
really bring it up and I can't find it at the moment. But apparently, they kicked Sweet Baby out and then they fixed the game. And they spent like the past 2 years fixing the game or some shit like that. Or, I'm sorry, not the last 2 years, but they had to essentially redo the game from scratch after kicking Sweet Baby and other people like that out of the company. And Flintlock is now free of any kind of, you know, ESG, GSI, whatever, DEE kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then you have this one here that reached out to Grums. This is also somebody. Now the other one said that they worked at A44 Games. Not currently with them, but did. But they kicked Sweet Baby out, right? All right, I think no, maybe it was somebody actually in the company. I'm sorry, that one actually might have stayed in the company. This one is the one that talked to Grums. I used to work there. Flintlock was a good project with lots of potential, and then it was ruined. Um, let's see. Before I go further, please note that this rumor is from a source that seems very knowledgeable about the studio's inner working. That take that as it is. If others would like to verify, please DM. The CEO and the COO at A44 are no longer with the company, but the damage seems to have been done.
So and this is a rumor I've heard about Flintlock. Again, don't know if it's true. Apparently when the SBI stuff kicked off, Flintlock board or whatever started looking into it more closely
Mm-hmm.
and realized that this project was going to be a fucking disaster and demanded heads roll.
Well, that would explain why the CEO and the COO were gone.
So in all honesty, this might not be a complete loss, but it's going to be one of those things that we'll see. In my mind, I'm not buying it, so I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to buy it either. I'll wait for other people to take that dive. Now, this first one I don't care about, right? Did you know the protagonist of Flintlock used to be white? I could care less. Right? When CEO and the casting director joined the studio. Her first action were to change the characters. I'm sorry. Were to change the characters to hire Sweet Baby Inc. and to change the main character to a POC. This marked the beginning of the problems at the game studio. This is a new project, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know, it doesn't take from anything or anything, so it's not like they're race swapping anybody. So the idea of them being black or blue or white or something, I really don't give a damn.
Yeah,
To be totally honest, that's a benign thing.
it's benign, but it also kind of
But it shows the direction things were starting to go. Right?
and also it kind of gives you an idea of like if they're doing that with a character that's already been modeled and designed, are they going to do that with established IPs? It's like art, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you come in and then start making wide sweeping changes that require you to redo from the ground up.
Yeah.
Anyway, Audrey is rumored to have used company funds and manpower to power her personal agenda and projects on initiatives not related to the game or even the studio itself. That's a misappropriation of studio funds.
That's what it was. That's what it was that I think the board got involved in.
One such incident that I found is Inclusion FX. Now, Inclusion FX is like a Sweet Baby version of an FX company, special effects, for those who don't know. A VFX company, an advocacy company with shades of Sweet Baby. Well, he said the same thing I just said. Here's the bio from the company. She held the position at Flintlock at the same time. She ran Inclusion FX. So
Isn't
she
that
was
a
running
conflict of interest?
She's running an FX company while also being hired into this studio. And then naturally her FX company is doing the work.
Yeah, that's a conflict of interest too, I think.
Yeah, I have witnessed our UI artists making art assets for its website as their sprint tasks. So she was using the company's UI artists to make art for her other company.
Oh yeah, she might
That's a
have
problem.
losing a job might be the least of her problems.
I've got to go get something to drink real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for sure.
I ran out. I'm dying over here.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Go ahead, old man. But yeah, no, that might be the least of her problems. Litigation might be involved in that. I'm not for sure. But yeah. So yeah, well, what we'll be getting into here shortly is the whole Sweet Baby Inc. thing, as you guys probably figured out by now. We got other topics that we'll be discussing. We're not going to be digging into Sweet Baby Inc. too much tonight because we've already hit it so much the past several weeks that there's not much more to cover on the SBI front that we haven't already beat to death. Though there might be a new contender in that regard. We'll see. Other than that, if you guys are enjoying the live stream, if you're enjoying the news that we're bringing, consider giving Zio a thumbs up. Consider giving him a like. Consider giving him a follow. Consider talking shit to him in the comments because that's always fun. You can also catch us on Twitter, usually trolling people and commenting on stuff. And yeah, share your if you got any news you think we'd want to cover, drop it in the comments. That's also something you can do. Be our tentacles on the internet. Be our little tentacle monster.
What about tentacle monsters?
I'm trying to get them into tentacle stuff. No, I told them to drop any news articles they might want us to cover, comments,
okay.
that kind of thing. Be our
Tentacle
little tentacles
monsters.
out there.
Okay, tentacles. Got it. Tentacle monsters. Anyway, so where were we? Let's see. Aside from working with Sweet Baby Inc., we're making changes to the game. Audrey also directed numerous changes in HR in her role as COO. In 2021, most developers were denied raises, and evaluations were postponed for at least 6 months. Audrey told HR to inform anyone who complains or asks questions that the reason is because I said so. Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic CEO or COO. Anyway, she also ordered HR department to hide the salaries of the top execs of the company. HR tried to help, but were unable to get past this. The team was worried about the studio's finances.
Oh wait,
Meanwhile, the new hire. Sorry, what?
Oh. Hiding the salaries of the top execs is a violation if the not obviously they can hide it from like the employees, but if the board wants to know how much you're making and you try to hide that, yeah, that's not going to go over well.
Meanwhile, the new hires and changes to the game resulted in the project where those people know nothing about how video game is made. So they hired people who have no idea what they're doing for DEI purposes, I'm sure.
Just like we've been saying. So
Yeah.
basically, vindication of what we already know.
Pretty much. After nearly 2 years of these DEI changes, at 844, the damage has been done. At this point, the studio was purchased for $175 million. Holy shit. How did a small company get bought for that much? Well, yeah, an unusually high sum for a small studio. No fucking kidding. By Kepler Interactive. Really? In September of 2021, a gaming collective fund whose founder also founded the Kowloon Knights Gaming Fund. The fuck are those? Let's see. Kepler Interactive.
I already got it up.
Which was founded September 29th, 2021. This thing was founded and then immediately bought the studio.
Where'd they get the money? Some
How the fuck did that even happen?
And I've never heard of Kepler Interactive.
They made Sifu, Scorn, Ticha, Ultras, Pacific Drive, Cat Quest 3, and they're working on Flintlock.
Sifu. Sifu was a massive hit.
Sifu? It was developed by Slow Clap in 2022 for the Windows, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5. I don't even know that game. It's a beat 'em up game.
Yeah, I believe that was a massive hit. Hang on. Sifu sold over 500,000 units within 48 hours of release. Game sold over 1 million units by March 2022. It sold 3 million units by February 2024.
Question though, do they own all these developers? It doesn't say, but their subsidiaries are right there, or who they own. Which, is a bit of an issue for me, because then I have to do this the hard way. Let's see. Absolver. That's a game by Slowcap. They don't have a Wikipedia entry at all. That's weird. Who owns?
Something ain't rubbing right here.
Let's see. Slowcap is an independent video game studio founded in 2015. Yeah, but are you solo or do you have a parent company? That's what I'm looking for. I don't know. 2016. Groupies from invested in Slowcap, a video game studio created in 2015. Okay, apparently Group Chevron invested in them. Let's see. Ebb Software.
This
Who's
is how
Ebb
we go down
Software?
rabbit holes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Ebb Software is a video game developer.
Yeah.
Scorn. Let's see. Ebb Software is a Siberian game developer studio founded in 2013. No, that's Scorn. It's the video game.
Yeah.
Sorry. Ebb Software. Ebb Software is a small. Okay, well, they're a Siberian game development studio from 2013. Serbian. So Serbian.
Yeah, Serbian.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So they're Eastern European.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody owns them though. Kepler used them though in 2022 to make Scorn.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where their money came from though. That's a lot. That's a fuck ton of money.
Let's see. They too also don't have a. Yeah, see, Kepler has a wiki, but
they're keeping it.
But everybody they've got does not have wikis or anything. Like, it's harder to find their information.
That's not suspicious at all.
I know, isn't it weird? They're so small. The companies, I guess, are so small.
They don't, yeah.
that they not even warrant.
So where'd the money come from then? If these companies are so small.
Let's see. Hadoukwo is a video game developer headquartered in Gothenburg, Malmö, and Stockholm, Sweden, and is known for Ultras.
Real quick, you said that somebody invested in Kepler.
No, Ebb Software was invested in.
Ebb Software.
I think it was.
And does Kepler own them?
I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm wondering if Kepler owned Ebb Software, maybe they took the funds to buy.
Well, see, that's the thing, right?
But we don't know.
Kepler doesn't exist until September 2021. Right?
Yeah.
And then they have Slowcap make Sifu, and Scorn is made by F Software in the same year, the following year.
Both were successes.
But they also bought. They apparently bought A44 in the same month they were founded.
Something. Unless somebody who's the founder of Kepler?
And this wiki is very, very short. Their headquarters in London and Singapore. Alexis, whatever this name is the current CEO. That's a dude. This page does not exist. Their LinkedIn doesn't exist. Here, let me bring this over here.
Dude, their webpage. What the? Okay.
Let's see. The org.
Dude,
This is their CEO. Has had various positions in the gaming industry since 2016. Let me bring this over real quick. This is the CEO of Kepler Interactive right now. Began the career as at Apple as part of the creative industries team. So he then moved to Ubisoft partner team, then joined Xbox. In 2015, there began working at Tencent as part of the strategy and investment team. In 2017, they became the CEO of Kowloon Knights. Where did that name come from again? I remember seeing that somewhere.
I'm not.
Where was that at? We dug into something and found that somewhere. That's the other video game fund. Okay. He became the CEO in 2017 of that particular video game fund. Right?
So he funded himself.
A global fund deploying 100 million plus to support independent developers. Most recent in 2022, they became the CEO of Kepler, a global game developer and publishing built on a unique co-ownership model. So, yeah, and then they bought. Holy fucking shit! They paid 175 million for A44.
That's insane. But
And
I can
had
tell you, I
this
think I know
fund
where.
going,
I
which
think
is
I know.
100 mil plus, and then created Kepler Interactive, which then apparently had enough funds at the same time. So it came from the global fund. Huh.
Why was it so high valued though?
Yeah, it wasn't. Or it shouldn't be.
They wanted it badly for some reason. Oh,
Let's see.
okay. Zio, I think I know how they got the money though.
Yeah, I think so too.
No,
See,
no, I think,
Mhm.
dude, you gotta fucking see this.
Okay, what am I looking at?
I'm gonna send this to you. Just, I tell you this, they got the money
The
because they
fuck
saved.
is up with this site?
They saved on it. That's what happened. They didn't spend any money on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kepler site. What the fuck is this?
I don't know. I brought this up because I figured I could find something in their about page. What I found was 2003.
This is not 2003. It's unresponsive. It's so fucked up. It's not even responsive.
I'm not clicking on anything. I might get a virus or something.
Um.
Like
So
that
yeah,
was
there's
terrible.
that rabbit hole. This guy here became the CEO of Kowloon Knights, a global gaming fund. Then became the CEO of Kepler. And at the same time, let's see. So that was 2021. No, 2020. He did that in 2020. Which means Kepler Interactive was already around.
Yeah.
But I thought they weren't founded until 2021. Okay, something's not making sense here. Somebody make this make sense. All right, I'm going to bring this over. I am very confused. Kepler Interactive was founded in September 2021 by CEO, this guy, right? Who was the co-founder of Kowloon Knights.
Okay.
Um,
Can we not click on the
Sorry.
man chick?
Most recently, in 2020, they became the CEO of Kepler Interactive. But it didn't exist until the following year. That's what I need to make sense.
Maybe it did exist, but it didn't go public.
Oh, no, because it wasn't founded until the next year.
Maybe a mistake on Wiki.
That or a mistake here.
One of the two. They're good. I mean, Wikipedia is good at mistakes.
Yeah, that or it's fishy.
That too. They don't seem to have a lot of information. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to go digging, but yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Anyway. So, now that we've dived down that rabbit hole, let's continue, shall we?
Oh,
Oh, let's see. Gaming Collective Fund, whose founder also founded that. It was at this point that Audrey, the COO, left the company. Perhaps this was the start of the cleanup. All right.
something. They really got rid of something that amount of money coming. No.
See, the state of the game is unknown at this time, but is believed to be in shambles after 2 years of rounds of DEI changes. As we know, A44 reached out to Kabutis to refute SBI's involvement, saying, "Oh, that's who it was they reached out
Yeah,
to.
Brutus.
That's the guy who made the Sweet Baby ink detector
Yep.
curator page." Involvement saying that they are no longer involved and all these changes are reversed. But when Kabutis asked for proof, they refused to speak to him any further.
To be fair, the proof that Cabrutus asked for was a little, I think, much.
Yeah, it was. But at the same time, you got to have some kind of proof.
Yeah, that's the thing. A44 could have came out with something other than "trust me, bro."
Yeah, could have been something better than "trust me, bro." But what is weird is the fact that they straight up bought the studio for that amount of money after they were founded. But then again, the other one was founded prior to that. God damn it. You know what?
You just exit off of those, man. We're done with them.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I can get rid of your man lady. So I stop accidentally clicking on it. What was this? Okay. Just a few more. Just a few more.
There we go.
Oh.
Honestly, I ain't got much to say on this. It's a rabbit hole that
It is an interesting rabbit hole.
we'll have to see how the game plays out. Like, I'm not gonna buy it because it's not my
Well,
gig.
their site
but
is much better looking. I'm not going to lie.
yeah,
Actually, I want to see their portfolio. Seafood. Oh shit! Really? They funded Sea of Stars. Huh. That's actually on my wish list as a thing to eventually play.
So far, I don't see anything.
Mhm.
Okay, that was on my wish list for like a hot second, and then I was like, it doesn't look all that appealing after looking at it.
Well, Sea of Stars is actually on mine and never got around to it. Just because it was a retro turn-based RPG type thing.
You know, this layout of their site kind of looks like Steam.
Yeah. Well, it looks much better than the other site you clicked me on.
Yeah, yes. By far.
And this one was apparently successful. So, and Sea of Stars was actually pretty successful. I'm not gonna lie. So, I mean, they have funded decent games. That's definitely true. It's just the weird part is,
The year thing.
no, it's just the fact that it was founded and then it immediately bought this, which means it tapped into funds from the other thing. Kepler was founded and then immediately bought this studio. So
Yeah.
it acquired funds from the other thing, which, got its funds from.
Which I don't think there's any legal shenanigans with that.
No, there's probably not, but at the same time, it just seems kind of suspect, especially to purchase a small studio like this. But that studio also has been around since like 2013.
Yeah.
What all has A44 done, though?
I don't know. Couldn't think of it.
Let's see. Let's take a look. Because I think they've been around since like 2013, right? For surely Flintlock's not the only thing they've ever worked on. Yeah, founded in 2013. Its goal making games for okay. 2018 release of Ashen gained an 80 plus Metacritic with only 30 core crew. Okay, so they did release a game.
Yeah, I mean,
And then their
Ooh,
upcoming one is Flintlock. So they've released one game. Mm-mm-mm.
is that it?
Oh, excuse me. This is it.
No, I'm just saying they released one game. That's it.
Yeah, they've only released this one game, and it was released in 2019. So from 2013 to 2019, they were working on this thing here. It's got mixed reviews.
6 years development cycle.
Single player online co-op. It's $40. The fuck? GameSpot, PC Gamer, IGN gave it glowing reviews, it looks like. So what's down here? I found this game to be a bit boring at best, frustrating at worst, by all accounts. Should have been nice, stripped down, Souls-like experience. Gain max HP stamina. Alright. Like 3 save points in the entire game. I guess they were doing a Souls-like game. Souls Light.
Okay. So in other words, they couldn't beat Souls, and then they made their own.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm just poking fun.
Well, it's an interesting art style.
Yeah. First thing though, are we looking at gameplay? Are we looking at just what they put on the trailer?
I have no idea. I'd say that's probably gameplay.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Well, actually, it doesn't look half bad.
Yeah,
I'm not
no,
gonna
it's-
play it.
yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna pay $40 for it. I'd rather play Monster Hunter.
yeah. No,
That's
it looks
more-
decent, but honestly, Enshrouded.
Yeah. Okay,
There-
that's not that bad.
I mean, Mix seems like a decent rating for it because, like, there's better. I think if they lowered the price to like 20,
Yeah, if they lower that price, it'd probably do better. It was released for the Switch, PS4, Windows, and Xbox One. Initial release date was in 2018. Action role-playing game, adventure fighting. 3.9. Okay. Anyway, we need to move on because it's my bedtime.
yes, I know. I'm wondering why you keep going down these rabbit holes.
Because I can't help it. I have to go down the rabbit hole. People demand it. Right, people? You demand that I do it. All right. When Ratchet and Clank was developed, Rivet had a bigger chest and a tight figure. One of the employees went rogue and started harassing and screaming at everyone until they changed their character. If you want an example of Western sick symptoms, look no further than this. I'm sorry. What?
Okay, so basically, Insomniac had a different design in mind for this character.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of the Ratchet and Clank series. It was
either.
after my action adventure gaming phase. You know, I was
See-
Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and then that was
Yeah. Mine was Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, and then Ratchet and Clank came out after the fact, and
Yeah.
it just never really pinged on my radar. But I
Same.
do know that Rift Apart, as far as I know, it didn't do well. So the fact that it seems like people are coming to this revelation that it was a financial flop, I thought it was common knowledge that it didn't do well.
Well, don't tell the fans that. They'll have a heart attack. Anyway,
Okay.
so apparently she was supposed to be more busty, more hourglass figure, you know, more
Uh-huh.
of the attractive to the male gaze. And this didn't sit right with Karen. So, and remember, they said that nobody's holding these development studios hostage. Well, what the fuck do you call that? And what do you think would happen if anybody raised their voice saying, hey, he's creating a hostile work environment, blah, blah, blah? You would Me Too them in a heartbeat. They'd be like, oh, well, they're just misogynistic, blah, 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 and complain to HR and get them fired. We all know how this plays out. Sam Maggs, this is the person that did it, right?
I have no idea. However, Sam Magg's credit was never given, which is especially damning considering how hard she fought to make sure Rivet wasn't overly sexual. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So Sam Maggs here would, if anybody raised their voice saying, hey, Sam here is kind of creating a hostile work environment. We're trying to make a game here that'll sell, and honestly, she's kind of creating problems. She'd go to HR and say, well, they're just being misogynistic and get whoever complains fired. You know she would.
Yeah. Insomniac Games know Insomniac works with Sweet Baby and has a lot of racist writers and developers working on Wolverine. Everything has a cause and effect. Oh, what is this?
Oh, this. Okay, I actually sent you this.
They split up the game 50-50, with Rivet also taking good roles and parts away from Ratchet. Let's not forget the cringe force female VA.
Just play that video.
How can one speak about Rifts Apart without the absolute king of lines and total? Okay.
Hope your memory be short. I hope your memory be short.
Girls in respectable positions.
What? What was that?
I hope your memory be short. Girls in respectable positions.
The fuck? What?
In respectable positions of power.
Music to me.
Even Clank sounds just defeated by that line.
Aye, that be the spirit.
What? What the fuck? What'd you say?
Even Clank sounds defeated when he says that, repeats that line like, if I don't say this, I'm gonna get reported to HR. Fuck me.
Yeah. And then, this just goes with the whole we're not forcing people to do things and we're not, making it. It's like, really?
And that's really all there is to that. Like,
Oh, there it is right there. Wow. All right. So why are we looking at Black Girls Gamer?
oh, SBI Part 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Oh, we already knew about them though.
Yeah, but so here's the thing.
They're the
So I
ones
saw
who
this
or
post.
helped. I'm sorry. They're the ones who were consulted on for Forsaken.
Yeah. So I saw this post, right? And I saw a post on Twitter where I guess it was a CEO or basically them
Mm-hmm.
saying, we're not doing anything crazy. Well, and then I looked at what they linked this interview, and I'm reading through the interview. I want us to go through this interview, which is why I kind of wish you didn't go down so many damn rabbit holes, but
I'm sorry.
this interview they had with Game Rant is very telling of what they're all about.
Well, yeah, they're racists.
Did you want to read it or
I'm reading it. Oh, I'm sorry.
to the audience, Zio? You're live streaming.
The Black Girls Gamer is an online platform that elevates Black women's visibility in gaming through content creation, consultation, brand partnership, and more. Established in 2015, the group has contributed to a shift in the industry, the creation of more Black female characters.
Admit it.
It has hoped to expand Black girl gamers to other places like West Africa to continue having an impact in the space.
I can kind of respect that.
Is there anything in West Africa? Anyway,
Desert.
GameRant recently spoke to the CEO and founder J. Ann Lopez on the persecutions of the lack of diversity and inclusion in the most beloved video games and entertainment franchises like Final Fantasy and Harry Potter. And how this has trickled down to the impact of Black and non-white people on different levels. The following transcript has been edited for brevity and clarity.
Now, I want to point out something real quick. Notice they pointed to Final Fantasy and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I want to be like, okay, they're just throwing shade. Secondly, they said the following transcript had been edited down for brevity and clarity. I legit thought that they were going to remove stuff that was just egregiously offensive.
Probably.
I was wrong. Maybe they did, but they failed. Continue.
For our readers, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Do I really have to read this? Lopez, I'm the founder of CEO Black Gamers, blah, blah, blah. We were blah, blah, blah. Initially, a lack of content creators didn't know how to work with brands. on a bigger scale. So a lot of them done that and gone out to the networks, and we taught them essentially the way we work is through events.
Okay, hang on.
Consultation.
You
Okay.
skipped some up top there. Since
This is
then,
already know. We've been doing this since 2015, originally starting a Facebook group. Since then, we've been instrumental in helping changing the narrative regarding diversity and inclusion, showing content creators how to work with brands. Yeah, that's it's
okay.
just a repeat from up here.
But what I'm saying is, right there is a admittance that they're trying to influence companies and brands. Not just work with them, but influence them.
Oh yeah, we've already known that. We talked about this last week.
I know with SBI, but what I'm saying is this group is admitting the quiet part out loud in this line.
Okay.
But I know you're trying to get through this so you can go to bed.
No, it's just like that's what I keep saying when I say things like SBI and Black Girl Gamers all last week.
We
I
didn't talk
touched
about
on
this
them the
last week.
entire
We talked about
time.
SBI.
I know, and then I talked or I mentioned Black Girl Gamers when we spoke about Forsaken
I know,
for that
but
brief moment.
this is a different group, Zio, so
I
we have
know.
to go over this too.
I know. They're the other SBI.
Yeah.
They're the ones who won't hire you unless you're black. Or I'm sorry, POC. So that's illegal, but whatever.
Oh,
They're the
was
ones
this
who
that
did
group?
Forsaken. And they failed horribly. They took credit for all that too. And that's where they worked with Square.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the same group. This is the same article where we were pulling excerpts from previously. It's just we were talking about SBI, so we didn't stay on it for too long.
Okay. Well, shit. Yeah. Watch that video.
They're the
then,
ones who wrote. They're the ones. Well, SBI also said the quiet part out loud too. So, at multiple times.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, yeah, they said a lot of the quiet part out loud in this repeatedly, and I'm like, this is not. And the fact that they linked to this article themselves, I'm like, this is not the thing y'all wanted to link to.
Do you feel that you were ostracized because video games are seen as masculine and traditional masculine? No. Oh, I'm sorry. Their answer is yes, of course. It is part of the reason why we started, because I knew I wasn't the only one. If I do it and someone else does it, I knew that I wasn't the only one. Did I just read that twice? That's part of the reason I started. I knew I wasn't the only one. If I do it, then someone else does it.
Got it right.
I knew I wasn't the only. This is why I can't read these things. This is This is edited, right? As you were saying at the top, edited for bravery and clarity, and you're still gonna. Oh, okay. Anyway. They would play games in front of me and hardly ever share while I was around their house. Or, I'm sorry, growing up, there was a family friend that would go to their house, two boys, and they would play games in front of me and hardly ever share while I was around their house. And our moms were talking. Their mom said something sometimes, and they would sometimes share then. But more often than not, they would just not do it. Okay, and
Okay, children.
I mean, technically, they're all children in this example, but
I know that's what I'm saying. Kids do that though. That
I mean, I have to tell the kid, "Hey, let your brother play," all the time. And they're both guys. They're both boys.
Yeah,
It's not that they're boys. And you're not a boy, therefore you
and
didn't.
also
It's
you're
just
kind of a guest, so it's kind of rude to just assume that you have dibs on the game system.
I also never saw a black girl character. And if she was, she's the neck popping sassy stereotype, which was commonly. Okay, you know what? Real quick.
Is that what they make?
You guys helped with a game known as Forsaken, done by Square Enix. Do you know what I noticed in Forsaken? The fucking stereotype that you guys let happen. Frey, that's her name, right? Frey, Fran, something like that. Anyway, doesn't matter. You know what? She's fatherless, was abandoned. Um, you know, all these other black stereotypes, all molded into one video game character, right? For a company that was supposed to break people out of these stereotypes, you did a really damn good job at not actually doing that and perpetuating them. The only thing that would have made it even sweeter as a stereotype is if when the house was burning, there was a bucket of KFC and some Kool-Aid on the table that she couldn't get because she had to get the cat because the money laying next to her also couldn't be got when she could have grabbed the bag, slung it on her shoulder, grabbed the cat, and run. You know. But anyway.
Yeah, no, you're
sorry.
No, you're right.
That really pisses me off because their big thing at one point was talking about how they're trying to prevent stereotypes. And that's the whole point to their existence, right? And that and SBI. And what do? They make a game with Square and immediately throw half these stereotypes straight in there.
And that's one of the biggest criticisms of this group, this Black Gamer Girl group, is that they do, like, every character they've been involved in, from what I've heard, is just a black stereotype. And a lot of black gamers can't fucking stand this group. You go on Twitter, you see they're like, I'm black, fuck you.
Let's see. Anyway. Yeah, listen, you were a guest at somebody's house. They had a Nintendo. Sorry they wouldn't let you play Player 2. It fucking happens. Anyway. It had nothing to do with the fact that you were a girl. It's just you weren't the one who normally was there.
Yeah. And she even said there was 2 boys. Yeah. You know how many Nintendo games were more than 2 player? Like 1.
I'm trying to think. Anyway, I know there was a multi-tap for the Nintendo. I just can't remember what it was for. Bomberman. Anyway, that one had 4. Anyway, did you know any other girls who played video games too? No, not really. Yeah, I know. There's this thing about gaming girls being a unicorn. Like, that was a thing for us guys to talk about. It's like, the second one of us finds a girlfriend who also likes video games, that would be the unicorn.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Nowadays, we find out it's a fucking trap.
It could
both
be
metaphorically
nowadays.
And possibly literally.
But yeah, I mean, it's not like there hadn't been games geared towards women in the past. They existed.
Yeah.
It just
called The Sims.
The Sims. There was a bunch of shovelware stuff too throughout the years.
Candy Crush.
But anyway. Yeah, you don't remember them because they were unicorns. You mentioned how there was hardly any black women characters in video games. Were there any video games that made you wish that their character was a woman of color or a black woman? I would flip the whole premise of a number of games, especially the ones that go into countries
this is what
and get their relics. I would flip that on their heads.
Right here, she's saying that I want to culturally appropriate your stuff. Huh?
Laura Craft.
Yeah. She wants to culturally appropriate other cultures that are European and race swap them. She is admitting that right here.
Not really. I mean,
Am
she's
I
like, but to
misreading
be
that?
honest, no, I'm not adverse to having white characters. I'm just annoyed at how prevalent they are.
Oh,
She just
okay.
wished, there was more that were black, you know?
Sorry,
But
I forgot about
then
that.
again, when you think about settings and stuff, and you've taken like the English woman of Lara Croft, anyway. I wouldn't want to change an existing character that I can think of at the moment. One of my favorite games is The Witcher 3. It is predominantly based on a Polish novel. I have seen no need for me to change their main character. Well, that would be weird because it's a Polish novel. Anyway, what I want is more stories that are authentic to black, brown, non-white people of color to be reflected in, and they did that with Forsaken.
Yeah, and honestly, I
And
can
hit
agree with
stereotypes while they were at it.
yeah, I can agree with that want, and I think that's a great idea.
hmm
But you gotta do it right, or you're gonna look like a piece of shit.
I don't want to necessarily have a race bend an existing character for me.
Okay,
It's
so I
not.
apologize. I misread that top part completely wrong.
That's fine. I want some original content. Yeah, like this is a group that was started with good intentions, right?
Yeah.
And I know we keep crapping on them because of Forsaken and how bad that was. But at the same time, this is one of those people that actually does have good intentions. They're just bad at it.
Well, here's the thing. I also think that I'm of a mind that it does not matter what you say. It matters what you do. So you can
Yeah.
say, I want some original content, but unless you make original content, do you really want it?
Well, yeah, they did Forsaken. Forsaken with Square Enix. That was original. It was crappy,
Well,
which was sad because it actually has the potential to be a really good game with some refinement.
what I'm saying is like, in regards to like representation of African culture, because so when I was in elementary school, middle school, we actually had a lot of classes and stuff that actually hit on African culture, and I thought it was really like not like the feel bad because you're white kind of thing, but like actually learning like the different tribes and the different cultures that they had in history. Really neat stuff. And like the art that came from those tribes. It was really neat. But and I got to see like the different war masks that they had. It was really cool. They could have done like a representation of like modern day culture, the historical representation of African culture, all sorts of different ways to come at this, but they keep doing these like stereotypical things. So I can't help but question, do you really want it, or do you say that you want it because it's the thing to say? Is this where I'm coming at it?
Yeah. This next thing I'm not even going to really touch. Right now, I don't have the energy for it. But this idea of people, this is where I think, they're definitely misguided.
Yeah.
Is, they're talking about we need representation because I need to see myself in the medium. And I'm just like, why? I can every game that exists right now. I don't think there is a single game that represents me anywhere in any game at all. The only ones that would come close is if there's a character editor and I decide to make a character that looks as close to me as possible. And that would be the only time that I would ever be represented in a game. But their idea of being represented is Oh, well, there's so many games with white people in it. That's cool. They still don't represent me, you fucking idiot. I don't understand that at all. But, it's whatever.
I mean, actually, you know what? I got a game
That's
that
essentially like this entire paragraph here. So,
yeah. Actually, I got a game that represents you, Zia.
Hmm.
A couple years old, but
I own that fucker.
Well, there you go.
I own that because my oldest really likes it. He plays it on the
Uh-huh.
Steam account.
He wants to be
Let's
just
see.
like Papa.
Let's see. One of the biggest reasons I think.
We can move on if you
Blah.
want.
I love the point you bring home or bring about Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I'm Filipino, and I remember Harry Potter. They had like one Asian girl in Harry Potter, and I was like, oh my god, an Asian person in Harry Potter. Again, that probably has everything to do with the setting. But
Yeah.
okay, guys.
I mean, I think if I remember right, the student that was Asian was a transfer student from a school in Japan.
Yeah. She was from another wizarding school from one of the Asian countries,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, which is why she was Asian.
What a
I'm
shock.
sure if there was a wizarding school in Africa, it would be full of people of color, right? So
That's another thing with the whole Resident Evil 5 thing.
oh gosh, are we going to get into Resident Evil 5?
No, we'll save that for later because I know we're going long.
Have you seen video games that do not have, or have you seen any video games that do have a strong female black character or a black female character? I don't need a strong black female character, to be honest. We have lots of strong black women. This whole trope of being strong as a black woman in itself is a whole discussion. Really? Is it? Anyway. I see diverse, underrepresented characters in games like Apex, who have kind of covered a lot of. Oh, yeah, this is where they're talking about how, I guess, the first so many characters in the roster, and they were all white or something like that.
This point right here.
But that again goes back to. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
She likes seeing all these characters in Apex and Overwatch, but earlier she said she didn't need to. She didn't care about swapping them, and I'm like, well, seems like you kind of enjoyed that part.
Well, they weren't swapped. It's just they made a new character and gave her a tan.
They changed several characters in Overwatch.
Well, no, they didn't change the skin color of anybody. I mean, they've changed other things like Soldier, whatever, is like gay or something stupid like that out of nowhere because Blizzard, for those who don't know, had this thing where when shit was hitting the fan and the whole place was burning down, they hit the gay button, where suddenly magically one of their characters suddenly became gay and had been gay since its inception, and they just forgot to tell everybody for 3 years. Yeah. It was a magical thing. And the worst part is these idiots online took it hook, line, and sinker too. And they're like celebrating. Oh my god, I can't believe he's gay. It's like, dude, he was never gay. He still isn't gay. They're just telling you that now because they're in trouble with the FCC or whoever it is because women are being groped in the office or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah. But no, like, I'm just saying the way she's saying, like, she doesn't want to see things swapped. She just wants to see representation, and then things get swapped for representation.
Well, that's the thing. It's not. What she's talking about is Apex Legends. Apex, Overwatch, that sort of thing. They make a new character, they make him POC, right?
Which is fine.
Which is fine. That's what she's talking about. Meanwhile, she doesn't want to see them do like make Laura Croft suddenly black.
Yeah,
which makes sense. Which actually lines in alignment with a lot of people who are on the GG side of things.
You know, I could see like another character in the Lara Croft series that's like a cohort of hers doing kind of like the same work as her, being black. You know what I'm saying? Like not replacing her or nothing, but like it's not like a two-player thing. I don't know.
Mm. Well, I mean, that's actually, I think, what she's saying right here. What I'm also looking for these companies that create franchises around white characters like Tomb Raider, The Witcher 3, Nathan Drake's The Last of Us are playable protagonists that have their own franchises that are non-white. We don't see that very often. Which again comes from usually the setting and where these people are coming from.
Yeah.
Japanese games have a lot of Japanese people in them.
Yep.
Because it's Japan.
Yeah, I think that's another thing.
Meanwhile, if you have a black studio that is like, more black or something like that from like, I don't know, Louisiana or Alabama or something like that, I guarantee you they would probably produce games that are more black centric.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
something they're kind of not really realizing is that it's all about region, like you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when the English, which are primarily white for their entire history, make something like Harry Potter in an English setting, in an older English setting too, especially in an older English setting, a lot of people are going to be more English, right? It's how that works. Which is also why when you get something like Resident Evil 5 and it is set in Africa, a lot of the zombies. It was set in Africa, right?
Yeah, it was in Africa.
It's been a hot minute. A lot of the zombies happen to be black. But then people get all upset about that and talk about how racist it is. And it's like, guys, that's the setting. But anyway.
You weren't mad about Raccoon City.
Yeah, well. Let's see. The only one that I can remember that I've played is not even a franchise. It was a singular game, Nilm, from Remember Me. I know that there's Flintlock coming out, and so those are two games where the protagonists are either biracial or black descendant and black characters. And here's the other problem too, right? Because you have Sweet Baby Inc. And they are purposely doing stupid shit.
Yep.
Which then would give somebody like this a really bad rep because they are trying to do. I mean, just from this, just from reading this article, it does seem like this person's heart is in the right place when trying to do this. They're not trying to race swap or change things or sex change anybody or anything like that. Meanwhile, Sweet Baby is actively doing those things. They want to take Lara Croft and make her trans black something another, right? They're the ones who want to go out and say that Samus Aran is trans for some God knows what reason. They're the ones who want to race swap constantly.
The more I read this and the more I'm talking to you about it, yeah, I got to agree. I was definitely off base on this one.
Now,
and yeah, they seem to have their heart in the right place. What was it that tied them to SBI though? Was it funding?
No, it was the fact that they did Forspoken, right? And they're in the same general. They're in the same kind of category, right?
Oh, the consultation thing.
They're the consultation
That's what it was.
thing. Forspoken was a bad game for a variety of reasons. Bad, cringy dialogue, did the stereotyping, especially for somebody who wants to not stereotype. They unfortunately did the stereotype, right? Because whatever reason. Anyway, it was bad, cringy dialogue. It was the way you progress and things like that through the game. Like having access to some of the best stuff right at the very end, so you don't actually get to experience any of that stuff throughout the game. That's like one of the biggest sins for me in a game, right?
Yeah.
Is when you finally unlock the awesome shit, and it's like, oh, by the way, the last boss is through the next corridor. Oh, and you can't go back.
They
And
did
it's
that in a
like,
lot of
really?
a lot of the older Final Fantasy games did that, and that always
Yeah.
irked me.
Yeah, like that's one of the reasons why I want to eventually play FF8 again, because I missed out on a lot of the in-game stuff because I didn't know you could leave the orphanage and actually go across the future world and collect the rest of the shit. I thought I had just missed it in general, and it turns out I was supposed to leave and go collect it. But then when you go into the castle, you can't go back.
Final Fantasy IX is the worst for that because Steiner gets not just the sword, but he gets like the ultimate sword at the absolute end after you beat the boss,
Yeah.
but you can't
And
use
then-
it.
And it's just like, why would you do this? This is bad game design in general.
Like you
Now,
can't
granted,
even
they
use
didn't.
It's literally just on your save.
Yeah. Now, granted, they didn't make Forspoken. Square Enix did it, but they were the ones consulting and making a lot of those changes for Forspoken. But when it comes to like maybe the game design and stuff, that was a Square Enix call. And it was a
Yes.
bad call on Square.
Yeah.
Because
Anyway.
quite frankly, Forspoken has potential. With a bit of refinement, it could have probably been a decent game. But if you guys had anything to do with the writing in that game, don't. You need to fix that.
Yeah. I think they did say they had a hand in that. So
Yeah, I think they did, which is where they get a lot of the heat from because Forspoken was a bad game.
yeah.
And that's where they get all their heat from because if you talk about Black Girls Gamer, it's usually within the context of Forspoken. So
and arguably people make mistakes. Look, come at it again, learn from your mistakes.
let's see. So those two games where the protagonists are racial, depending on how your characters characterize blackness, but they're black female protagonists. Again, it's far and few between. I can name 2 and Forspoken, which is 3. But in the whole history of gaming, that's not very great. There were also other indie games called Dondrea, which is Brazilian, that had a black female protagonist character from an indie studio.
So she's saying black protagonists or black characters?
Black protagonist.
Okay.
Main character is black. Yeah.
I was about to say, because I can name a bunch of games that have black characters that are amazing. Sergeant Johnson, right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the Mega Man franchise, there's 1,000 of them, but still.
But protagonists, I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, there really isn't that many, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
And except unless you include every game where you can customize your character.
Yeah.
If you add all those, which of course is something that people forget exist apparently, there's actually quite a few games where you can have a black protagonist.
Yep.
Or a white, or a yellow, or a blue protagonist.
Purple.
Yeah. Has there been any video games that you've seen that have gone in the right direction in terms of diversity? Apex is definitely one of them. Yeah, anyway. Can you talk about how video games can be therapeutic, especially for people of color? It depends on everyone's personal relationship with gaming. Okay, I think we all understand how gaming can be therapeutic.
I think
don't need somebody explaining it.
Yeah.
I mean, that first sentence pretty much says it all. It depends on everyone's personal relationship with gaming.
Yeah.
What are some things that Black girl gamers are doing to create this space for inclusivity and diversity? The first thing is community. Okay, we have a safe, enclosed community for Black and women, non-binary people in spaces that have experienced sexism and racism in the gaming industry. Well, no, because people who are like non-binary and shit, they kind of need to be in straitjackets. But anyway,
Agreed.
we did away with that stuff. The gaming industry or just want to connect with other Black women gamers. This is community of almost 10,000. We then also work for our community to do workshops and mentor programs to connect people who want to work in the industry with brands. That knowledge that they can understand that this is the area I want to work in and get some advice on that.
The one thing
Yeah.
the one thing I will say though about the whole like working in the industry, these inclusivity things, and by the way, this flip that for a minute. How do you think people would react if I said we're running a white only? There'd be freaking riots.
Oh yeah, that's why I said, if they just hire like Black girls, there's an issue there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And here's another thing: providing talent for the likes of Google. So they work with Google. What came out recently about Google? They had a atmosphere of fear, or what was it? Basically they were terrified of HR.
Doesn't look like there's anything
Yeah, there
worthwhile
isn't
in the
much
rest of
left
this.
in that.
Yeah, there's nothing else really here.
That picture right there is not formatted good. It is squished.
I don't know. It's got too much airtime on the top there. But anyway,
You want to hit these next ones real quick?
was there more?
I see a bunch of tabs open. I don't know.
Anyway, so when it comes down to it, they get heat from Forspoken. Other than that, I think I can't remember if it was somebody in this group or if it was just Sweet Baby Inc. stuff came off as a massive racist somewhere.
That was Sweet Baby.
Was it Sweet Baby? Other than that, I
said
can't
you
really
can't
think of
be-
any other flack that they get
Oh.
outside of the fact that they're a consulting group, but the person in charge seems to have their heart in the right place, although they are bad at their job, it would seem.
But wait, are you talking about the you can't be racist towards white people thing?
Yeah.
That was actually Kotaku.
Oh,
That was a
jeez, they bleed together sometimes.
yeah. No, I think Sweet Baby had somebody that did that too, but I can't remember. Did you want to
Fair
cut
enough.
it here? Or did you want to hit these next tabs? I don't know what these next tabs are.
Well, these are all Kotaku stuff over here to the right, except for
We
this
kinda
last one here.
Hit that though, didn't we?
Oh, here we go. Really got you pressed by just existing. Never worked with Sweet Baby Inc. He also Black and consulting and decided it wasn't the black, it was the consulting part, which I think we already explained. Right?
Yeah.
So although they are the kind of people who would use that, which makes them insufferable.
Yeah.
In a way. And it's like, oh, it's because we're black. And it's like, no, it's because you're a consulting group similar to Sweet Baby.
Yeah.
But people actually have to read this, the article to see what you're about. And, well, let's face it, we don't. A lot of people don't. That's why there's people like me who will actually sit here and read it for you.
And honestly, it would be interesting to know what games they're involved in to see
See
if
how
the
they
game,
did too, to be totally honest.
if the games are good, if the games are bad.
Yeah, I haven't looked into them, but all I know of is Forspoken. So,
Yeah, same.
oh, this page doesn't exist. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Really?
Look at the name. It's a bot.
Oh, well, that would explain it. Anyway. Okay. But anyway, what is this? Oh, okay. So yeah, apparently I don't know who this is. I just happened to randomly run across it, covering games against my better judgment. Founder EIC, Uppercut, Crit, Trans Guy, Freelancer, Game Informer, Team Liquid, GameSpot. I don't know. Anyway, so they went on this tirade. Games should look and feel realistic, but they shouldn't realistically depict different kinds of people who really exist. They should be an escape, but only for white dudes. That's what y'all DEI haters are saying. So this I ran across right before we started getting ready, so I had to make a post. This is just me
Okay.
tooting my thing now. But I was like, no, games can be realistic if they want to be. Not all games are realistic looking, nor do we want them to be. So Helldivers doesn't look realistic, and it's an amazing fun game. Final Fantasy XIV don't look realistic, and it's a fun game. Actually, let's just start listing games that don't look realistic for a second, but also are fun for various reasons. Monster Hunter World, all the Monster Hunters, Mega Man, Zelda, 7 Days to Die, Turtles, Oxygen not included, Command and Conquer series, not the cutscenes, because those are real people. Dragon Ball Fighters, Halo, Orcs Must Die, BG3, Saints Row, not the recent one, Spyro, Fortnite, Stardew, Stellaris, Sunhaven, Minecraft. Anyway, I think you get my point. Well, we want our games to feel natural and not shoehorned in due to DEI or DEI. We want really fucking phone. Why did you autocorrect that to food? We want good stories.
Wait.
We want food stories, damn it! Likeable characters, not to be lectured about current day politics in games and set in a fantasy world where magic reigns supreme. Because guess what? That version of their world isn't our current world, you moron. Fucking hell. Can I edit
Oh
this?
my
Or
goodness.
has it
Hang on
been
a
too
second.
long? I can't edit this, can I? I'm about to delete it and then repost it with the correct.
Don't you fucking dare.
I'm going to. Before you can do whatever it is you're doing.
I'm not need you. I already responded.
Really? I can't delete it if you've responded to it, damn it.
Look at the response.
Yeah, I see that. I got a game for you.
I got a
No,
genre of games. I can post like 8 if you want. I'm just saying.
But anyway, that was it. That's my little rant for the night. Anyway.
I freaking spilled my drink.
Oh, don't do that. But yeah, that we're gonna have to call it a night. I take it you're gonna stream something?
Yeah, I don't know what yet. I'm thinking Helldivers. But shit, I don't know.
Well, anyway, that's it for the night. Next week, Friday, same time, same place. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, here on Rumble. So we will see you then. Have a fantastic night. Oh, and go check out Chad because his link's down there and he might be streaming something like Helldivers.
Yep.